New tonight, Hunter Biden makes a court appearance in Delaware, and winter road clearing may be more difficult this year. We'll tell you why. And check your lottery tickets because you might just be a millionaire. Those stories and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks for joining us tonight. Making headlines today. As expected, Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, pled not guilty to federal gun charges in a Wilmington court appearance this morning. The J. Caleb Boggs Federal Building on King Street was ringed with reporters from around the world as Hunter Biden entered the building just before 10 a.m. Through his attorney, Hunter Biden pled not guilty to 3 federal firearm felonies. He was indicted last month after years of investigation by federal prosecutors. Hunter Biden is charged with lying on a federal form where he purchased a gun in Newcastle in 2018. Prosecutors claim that he broke the law when he denied he was addicted to any narcotics. The president's son has acknowledged that he was addicted to drugs at the time. In a written statement, attorneys for Hunter Biden called the charges politically motivated. After his not guilty plea, an attorney for Biden indicated numerous motions to dismiss the case will be filed. And Delaware Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long announced an audit into her campaign finances late last week in a statement that raised more questions than it answered. Less than a month after she declared her candidacy for governor, Hall put out a statement saying that she had requested a review of her past campaign finance reports and found, quote, issues. The statement did not specify what those issues are, although the campaign is not soliciting campaign donations at this time. Governor John Carney, who endorsed Hall Long the day after she announced, released a statement hoping for a quick resolution, saying, "I'm hopeful she is able to quickly resolve the concerns her campaign has identified." Currently, Democrats Hall Long and Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer are the 2 candidates for governor. The state primary is slated for September 10th, 2024. And a teacher at Howard T. Ennis School has been charged with endangering a child after a 3-year-old student with developmental delays was left unattended on a playground for several hours. A spokesperson for the district said the teacher was on unpaid leave while the matter is being investigated. According to Delaware State Police, several children ran away when lined up to go back into the school after recess, including the 3-year-old. The child ended up sitting under a piece of playground equipment and remained there while everyone went back into the school. The student was not found until the mother called to say that her child had not returned home on the bus. The teacher was arrested last week on a misdemeanor count of endangering the welfare of a child and was released on her own recognizance, according to police. And speaking of police, state police say that they've been investigating golf cart thefts throughout Sussex County. In a social media post, police advised neighbors to secure their golf carts and storage buildings to deter potential thieves. Residents are asked to report suspicious activity, and police say the assistance in the investigation is appreciated. Those with information can provide it to police anonymously by calling 302-752-3798 or by sending the Delaware State Police a private Facebook message. Delaware State University has signed a 5-year partnership with a nonprofit that helps college students entering the world of work find success despite having major obstacles in their way. Braven helps students from humble backgrounds learn professional skills that can lead to higher paying jobs. Del State is the first public historically Black college or university to partner with Braven, which was founded in 2013 with the goal to empower first-generation college students, students from low-income backgrounds, and students of color. The partnership with Braven is expected to serve up to 2,500 students over the next 5 years. And with winter's chill lurking just a few months away, Delaware finds itself in a tight spot, grappling with a shortfall in its snow removal workforce. DelDOT is looking to fill almost 80 open positions, the majority in its maintenance and operations division. Although the first state didn't see much snow last year, many are predicting a white winter this time around. If those predictions hold true, DelDOT snowplow drivers will have their work cut out for them. The department is responsible for plowing about 90% of all the roads here in the state. The shortage reportedly stems from a wave of retirements, but also the challenge of private businesses offering significantly more money. DelDOT said the state has been working to increase pay through sign-on and retention bonuses. DelDOT also has a paid volunteer snow program where part-time employees are hired to be on call during the winter. You can get more information on that on the state's employment website. Heads up, your electronic devices may alarm you on Wednesday afternoon, but there's a good reason for it. A nationwide test of the Federal Emergency Alert System will be broadcast at approximately 2:20 p.m. to cell phones, televisions, and radios across the United States. As the wireless emergency alert test is sent out to phones, the emergency alert system test will be sent to televisions and radios. FEMA says no personal data is collected from anyone's devices in the process. Cell towers will broadcast the emergency alert test for about 30 minutes, but each phone should only receive it once. People who receive the test alert on their phones will see a message that reads, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." Wednesday's test will evaluate the capabilities of the National Alert System to reach and inform as many people as possible in case of a widespread emergency. The test could also help raise public awareness about what to do in a real national emergency. A backup date of Wednesday, October 11th will become the test date if other emergencies like extreme weather prevent it from going forward as planned on October 4th. And the United States Postal Service is commemorating the late U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg with its newest forever stamp. Known as a trailblazer, RBG fought against gender discrimination through landmark court cases. She died in September of 2020 and was the first woman to lie in state in the U.S. Capitol. The stamp, a copy of an oil portrait of the justice, was unveiled at the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. And a section of East 23rd Street was ceremoniously named Bishop Emma L. Creamer Way on Sunday in a ceremony attended by city leaders, family members, and former colleagues. The late Bishop Emma Creamer passed away in April 2020 at the age of 80. On Sunday, officials unveiled a sign at the corner of East 23rd and Claymont Streets outside the Cathedral of Fresh Fire, which Bishop Creamer founded in 1994. And Mayor Mike Periki also designated October 1st as Bishop Emma Loretta Curry Creamer Day here in Wilmington. Bishop Creamer delivered her first sermon at the age of 34 in the Mother Church of God in Christ Church on North Market Street, where she was later named pastor. She traveled the world to preach and touch the lives of thousands through her telecasts, musical productions, and books. She was consecrated a bishop in 2015 and received numerous honors and awards. In other news, Nordic Cares, a nonprofit workforce development organization based out of Wilmington, cut the ribbon on its new 9th Street location late last week. The program teaches young adults the practical, emotional, and IT skills necessary to build careers in technology. In addition to the new training facility, the location offers a storefront where trainees can put their skills to use. The store will offer device repair services for the community from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. NERDIT also accepts device donations, which will be refurbished by the trainees and delivered to local children, families, and community organizations in need. And before we sign off this evening, you want to check your lottery tickets if you bought them, because you might just be a millionaire. A Powerball ticket worth $1 million was sold here in Delaware for the Monday, October 2nd drawing worth $1.04 billion. The ticket was sold at the Giant on Town Center Drive down in Millville, the same location actually that a $50,000 Powerball ticket was sold for on Wednesday, June 21st. How's that for luck? It was one of 2 Match 5 winners worth $1 million from the drawing. The other was sold in Michigan. There was a Match 5 Plus Power Play winner in New York and another from South Carolina worth $2 million. So with no grand prize winner from Monday night's Powerball drawing, the jackpot is now worth an estimated $1.2 billion with a cash value of $551.7 million. The drawing is now the 3rd largest in Powerball game and the 7th largest in U.S. lottery history. The next drawing will be Wednesday, October 4th at 10:59 p.m. In Delaware, tickets may be purchased until 9:45 on the day of the drawing. Wilmington Mayor Mike Periki announced this afternoon that he will not seek a third term. Shortly after, Governor John Carney said that he is seriously considering a run to take his place. He says, quote, "Tracy and I have lived in Wilmington for 30 years, and I care deeply about our city." He continues that while I'm focused on serving as Delaware's governor, it's something I'm seriously considering, end quote. Mayor Periki has 1 year left in his second 4-year term. In a heartfelt letter to the community, the mayor cited his age and a desire to spend more time with his 4 small grandchildren as the main reasons for this decision. The 78-year-old former executive director of the Riverfront Development Corporation is credited with leading Wilmington through unparalleled redevelopment. He oversaw the transformation of the Christina Riverfront from an industrial wasteland into one of the most beautiful areas of our city. In his letter, Periki listed his administration's accomplishments from unparalleled development, some of the best crime statistics in decades, and investment in the city's parks and infrastructure, saying, quote, "No objective observer would ever suggest that things have not dramatically improved under this administration's watch," end quote. Periki's decision sets up what is sure to be an active campaign season for the job of mayor. In addition to Governor Carney expressing an interest in the role, former Wilmington Treasurer of Finance Velda Potter has thrown her name into the ring as well. In other news, the 66-year-old boyfriend of the woman found dead in Carousel Park in Pike Creek has been charged with her murder. Newcastle County Police say Stephen Heck was detained on Tuesday, a week after 63-year-old Cynthia Amalfitano's body was found in a wooded area of Carousel Park. Amalfitano's cause of death has not been disclosed by police as of yet. According to police, Amalfitano was last seen on the evening of September 23rd at her home, but when she failed to show up for work on September 25th, police were called to the house in the 3400 block of Birch Circle. Her obituary said that she was a preschool teacher at Concord Preschool for more than 26 years. Heck became a person of interest, and on Tuesday, police got a warrant for his arrest. He has been charged with first-degree murder. Services are being held Thursday at Pagano Funeral Home in Garnet Valley, Pennsylvania. And in other news, a Delaware teen is charged with the murder of a missing Maryland man. State police arrested 17-year-old Shakir Bowen for the murder of a Maryland man that had been reported missing on September 22nd. The 41-year-old man, David Thomas Jr., had borrowed a car from his family in Kent County on September 15th, but never returned it, and no one could locate or contact Thomas. A week after he was reported missing, his remains were found in a ditch located in Meadowbrook Acres. 17-year-old Bowen allegedly shot and killed Thomas. Bowen is charged with first-degree murder along with other felonies. He was arraigned and committed to the Department of Corrections on a $500,000 cash bond. If you or someone you know has additional information about this case, you are urged to contact Newcastle County Police or Delaware Crime Stoppers. And free potassium iodine tablets are set up to be distributed to those who live or work within a 10-mile radius of the Salem and Hope Creek nuclear generating stations in Salem County, New Jersey, also known as the Emergency Planning Zone. The effort is a partnership between the Delaware Emergency Management Agency and the Delaware Division of Public Health. The free tablet distribution will take place on Thursday, October 5th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Townsend Fire Company. Residents with home or business addresses within the emergency planning zone are eligible to receive the tablets. To do so, recipients must bring a photo ID such as a driver's license, proof of residency such as a utility bill, or proof of employment within the zone when they go to the pickup location. Now, if you have expired tablets, you can bring those to the distribution center and exchange them for new ones. Potassium iodine does not protect against external radiation, but it can help protect the thyroid gland from ingested or inhaled radioactive iodine that could be released in a radiation emergency. The The tablet is one of the preventative measures outlined in Delaware's emergency plans developed for use in a nuclear incident. A Magnolia mother is calling the removal of a series of animated books from her children's school a book ban and has collected nearly 2,000 signatures to bring the popular series back to the students. Jennifer Anatok plans to submit the signatures to Caesar Rodney High School Board later this month and ask they bring back the series known as manga.
I do see this as a book ban because the very definition of ban is a prohibition of something, right? And what we're prohibiting are the books, and that makes it a book ban.
The school district is calling the incident a misunderstanding and said a series of, quote, poor choices on the part of a teacher led to the book's removal. Antok's 2 children attended the Magnolia Middle School and were members of a club that met to read and discuss the Japanese cartoons. Nearly 80 students, many ages 13 and 14, were members of the club, said Antok. The club has received district recognition and last year a $1,000 grant to buy more of these books. Parents signed permission slips allowing their children to participate in the club, but starting this school year after receiving 2 complaints that an inappropriate manga video was shown during class time, the school instituted a new policy wherein no books rated for teen were allowed. District officials said the teacher removed all of the books and disbanded the club, a move they say was premature as the school had planned to review all of the manga books for possible inclusion in the club. The teacher did not immediately respond to an email from DETV. Antok says the issue was mishandled and that Caesar Rodney school officials need to create a district-wide policy on the removal of materials. The school board next meets on October 17th.
I hope the school district makes the right choice for the kids and for the teacher. I think they were very heavy-handed, and I think compromises can be made.
For the second consecutive year, Christiana Care has earned a gold-level Joy in Medicine Recognition Award from the American Medical Association. One of only 10 health systems nationwide to achieve gold level, Christiana Care received recognition for its commitment to the well-being of the clinical care team members. Christiana Care has instituted several programs to recognize and help caregivers deal with the stresses of the job. Last year, the Center for Work-Life Well-Being launched a training program to help organizational leaders build skills to identify and support colleagues impacted by stress. The hospital system also instituted a peer support program known as Care for the Caregiver, which offers confidential peer support and group support following stressful events at work. The national program was started in 2019 when burnout rates among caregivers began to spike dramatically during COVID-19. While the worst of COVID has passed, lingering impacts still remain. And the University of Delaware is receiving an additional $10 million in federal funds to expand research into biological medical products, announced the first state's congressional delegation recently. The money will be used to build on new facility on the university's Star campus in Newark, site of national research into medical problems such as COVID. The center has received more than $150 million in federal funding so far and has become a first-class research campus where a once shuttered auto assembly plant stood, said Senator Tom Carper in a press release. AAA is warning us, watch out for lovesick deer on the roads. The travel giant issued a reminder today that October through December is deer mating season. That means more active and distracted animals who dart onto roadways. A deer vehicle collision is no laughing matter. Striking such a large animal can be dangerous and expensive. Though the vast majority of accidents do not involve serious injuries, AAA reported that almost 2,000 people died in a deer vehicle collision from 2012 to 2021, including 2 Delawareans. That's a 60% increase over previous years. The cost of such accidents is also on the rise. AAA estimates that the average price tag for hitting a deer is more than $5,000, driven up by technology in new cars. AAA offers tips to avoid an accident, including to stay in your lane and hit the brakes if a deer runs into the road, as swerving the deer confuses the animal. Also, they say honk your horn in one long horn blast and be especially watchful for amorous animals in early morning and evening hours. And a new segment of the Jack Markell Trail opened this week in Newcastle. It's the first of 5 planned extensions. The first section of the Commons Boulevard Trail extends 0.8 miles, connecting the Jack Markell Trail from the tunnel under I-295 to the Social Security office on Creekwood Road near Newcastle. Nonprofit and advocacy group Delaware Greenways has partially funded and publicly supported the trail's opening for over 5 years. Plans for the Commons Boulevard Trail will eventually connect Wilmington to Christiana Care with over a 2-mile paved trail meant for easy cycling and pedestrian access. The next steps for the trail will be to connect the Creekwood Road trailhead to the nearby Route 141. Specific timelines for this plan are unknown as of right now. The opening was celebrated with a bike ride with members of the Bike Delaware Cycling Group who have advocated for a comprehensive trail network in Delaware as a method of suppressing traffic fatalities. Delaware teachers in search for their caffeine fix can find it for free tomorrow at Dunkin'. Thursday, October 5th, educators can grab free medium, hot, or iced coffee to mark World Teachers Day. The deal is only available inside stores with nearly 70 to choose from here in the First State. Just show up with a valid school or work ID upon ordering. No other purchase is necessary, but the offer does not extend to cold brew or nitro cold brew options, so heads up there. 1 cup of coffee is available per teacher.
It's been 1 day after Wilmington Mayor Mike Periki announced he won't be seeking a 3rd term. Today, he sat down for a frank conversation with DETV. He talked about the highs and the sometimes lows of running Delaware's largest city.
All I could do is be myself and try as hard as I can.
DETV News took to the streets to get reaction about the mayor's announcement. We also asked Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer about his thoughts.
I thought he did a great job the past couple years. He was wonderful. I really hate to see him leave the office.
We'll be better off with the mayor. I feel like he don't do nothing for the city anyway. They don't do nothing for the youth for real. I feel like they should do more youth programs for the kids and all that. So yeah, I think they better off without the mayor for real.
We are extremely fortunate to have had 7 years with Mike Periki as mayor. He says he's going to retire. Knowing Mike, he's going to get into something. He's going to stay active. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you, Mike Periki, for your decades of dedication to Delaware and especially these past 7 years.
Stay tuned for the full interview with DETV's Ivan Thomas just after this broadcast. Turning now to other news, Hodson Vocational Technical High School broke ground on a new facility. The new school will come with a hefty price tag, $217.5 million. The state will pay 60% of the tab, with the rest funded by public tax dollars. The present school, located on Glasgow Avenue in Newark, has outgrown its use. With some 1,100 students enrolled, the cafeteria can't accommodate all of the students. The school's classrooms and hallways are too small, and the building has no air conditioning. If all goes as planned, the new larger school would open in the 2026 to 2027 school year. Retail thefts are on the rise, that according to reports from Delaware State Police and area retailers. State police say department stores are being targeted the most. What's more, indications are organized retail theft is behind the rise. That's when groups hit stores after taking orders for items like cigarettes, Tide detergent, and even Dove body wash. Those hot items are then resold on the streets. Since last January through August, more than 10,000 cases of retail theft were reported in Newcastle County alone. State prosecutors credit good work by Wilmington police for a guilty verdict in a 2020 shooting death. 21-year-old Nehemiah Jackson pled guilty to killing Kavai Martin. He'll now serve a 10-year sentence. After Martin was shot, he spent nearly 2 years on life support before passing away. Jackson, who is currently in prison on a gun charge, pled guilty to the shooting after a 3-year investigation by Wilmington police. Since 2021, gun violence has been reduced by 30% statewide, that according to the Attorney General's office. Summer homicides were down 50%, and there has been a 60% reduction in Wilmington homicides. And Wilmington police are continuing to crack down on the illegal use of off-highway vehicles on city streets and sidewalks. Over the past few weeks, 5 people were charged with riding all-terrain vehicles, with 4 of those vehicles being recovered by city police. A special operations traffic unit conducts targeted enforcement to combat the noisy and sometimes dangerous riding of ATVs and dirt bikes in the city. On October 1st, police monitored an organized ride of the vehicles into the city and seized 1 dirt bike. Operating ATVs and dirt bikes on city streets, sidewalks, and parks is a violation of both city and state codes and can result in significant fines. Police ask anyone with information about the vehicles, particularly where they are being operated or stored, to contact the Wilmington Police Traffic Unit at the number on your screen. Turning now to news from Kent County, NASCAR fans will be happy to hear the Dover Motor Speedway added its first ever April race to the 2024 schedule. The Cup Series race is slated for April 28th at 2 p.m. The news comes at a time when Dover, like many NASCAR tracks, has been hit by declining attendance. This will be the 4th year that Dover Motor Speedway has hosted just a single race. At one time, NASCAR was a cash cow for Dover businesses during race times. No doubt, those businesses will welcome this upcoming race. Sad news tonight from the University of Delaware. Newark police say a freshman engineering student was killed after being struck by a vehicle. He was riding his bike at the time. 18-year-old Daniel Basic was hit at the intersection of South College Avenue and West Delaware Avenue. Reports indicate the vehicle had the green light when the collision happened. The 24-year-old driver remained at the scene where Basic was pronounced dead. Police say neither speed nor alcohol were factors in this accident. And Governor John Carney signed a bill into law that requires state child welfare agencies to explore a federal program that places foster children with family members. The Guardianship Assistance Program provides monthly payments to family members who have demonstrated a close relationship with the child and satisfies requirements of a licensed and approved foster home. Delaware is one of 9 states in the nation that is not a part of the program. State Senator Eric Buxton sponsored the legislation. He says the program will be a win-win situation for the state and the children it serves. The Delaware Division of Family Services received nearly 22,000 reports of child abuse or neglect in 2020. Of all of the cases investigated, 20% were found to have merit. 900 children spent at least 1 day in foster care in 2020. The Department of Services for Children, Youth, and their Families has until November 30th to report back to the General Assembly on its findings and recommendations for joining the guardianship program. And finally tonight, you craft beer connoisseurs may want to take note of the annual list of winners from the Great American Beer Festival. 3 Delaware brews made the cut. The globally recognized beer competition held recently in Denver, Colorado, awarded the Musings Fermentation Underground a gold rating. Also awarded a gold rating was the Autumn Arch Beer Project in Newark. The Thompson Island Brewing Company received a silver rating. The contest features 99 beer categories across 175 different beer styles. Cheers to all of the winners. That's all for this edition of DETV News. Be sure to follow us across all of our social media platforms. And for a look at what's happening all around Delaware, take a look at our website at detvch.com. With DETV News, I'm Lauren Wilson. We're going to see you next time.